Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Wednesday, August 3rd. So we have the moon in Libra all day, another full day of trying to find balance, find peace, find harmony, look at the lighter things in life. And of course, sometimes we tend to only find those particular things through the extremes, especially of our emotions. We have 12 different aspects here today. 11 of them involve the moon. And just keep in mind that this is the very last day of Mercury being in Leo energy. Anytime that we are wrapping up the last day in an energy, you can bet that there is a little bit of an intensity. We have to learn the lessons. Mercury being in Leo has been very big, very grand with our ideas, with our expression, with our communication. We've definitely been speaking out, speaking our truth, wanting to be seen, wanting to be heard. And for the most part, we've really been running with some really good, grand ideas for ourselves as we move forward into our brand new path. Also keep in mind that today we are having the direct aspect between Uranus and the true node. We've been talking about this particular energy for quite some time now. Again, just another reminder that this does not mean that you are going to see the fruits, the rewards of this energy in the here and now. It acts as a trigger and an activation for this energy to be pulled into your life. But just keep an open mind, keep an open heart, and keep open eyes on new people entering into your realm, new opportunities unfolding before you, sudden shift, sudden change, not only in your perspective, in your understanding, in your heart space, but in your physical circumstances as well. So, with the moon in Libra, we are bumping into Uranus right out of the gate. This is a very harmonious aspect though, so I'm not so concerned about it. What we are doing is trying to kind of open our mind up and take a good look at where it is that we need a little bit more balance in our physical realm, in our physical circumstances. Now, this Uranian energy is in Taurus, which is a little bit of a conflict. We've had this conflict now for a couple of years since Uranus moved into this Taurus energy, because Uranus wants to push us outside of our comfort zone. And of course, the fixed earth energy of Taurus wants nothing to do with it. We are being shown where it is that we're overly attached to keeping things the same, overly attached to people, places, ideas, titles. And of course, the moon in Libra wants us to find peace and harmony and balance, but we do so by recognizing where it is that the foundation of our day-to-day life, our routines, our relationships, our money matters, our values has been a little bit shook up in order for us to realize where stability is needed the most. The moon in Libra is going to semi-square Mercury. Mercury again in Leo, fire energy. We got a lot going on in the mental plane. We got a lot going on in our heart space. And this semi-square is a little bit of a tension point. There is no balance in this Leo energy. We are balls to the walls, very much in an extreme, very much trying to wrap up this particular life lesson. And of course, the moon in Libra just wants things to be balanced. This is why we're having a little bit of a tension. Now, just keep in mind that when the moon and Mercury get together, this is a prime opportunity to illuminate where it is that our heart and head in this particular situation is not on the same page, where we're having conflicting thoughts that go against what it is that we're currently feeling, and where it is that we're having some feelings that aren't in alignment with our ideas and moving forward. This could actually present an opportunity for us to kind of communicate, express what's going on in our headspace, in our heart space to those that need to hear it. It is recommended, I will say, to use a filter. Again, with the last day of Mercury being in Leo, we are just almost screaming inside of ourselves, outside of ourselves. We have a lot to get off our heart and head before this energy shifts. So just understand that there is going to be a little bit of urgency, a little bit of impulse to share our inner realm outside of ourselves, but we definitely should use a little bit of caution and use that filter so that we're not creating a mess for ourselves to clean up later on. The moon is going to make a very harmonious aspect with Mars, who is in Taurus. This is great for us because this is actually showing us where it is that we need to kind of take action to create a little bit more stability in our life. So the earlier aspect with Uranus would likely kind of illuminate where it is that things are shaky, things aren't stable, things need a little bit more stability in our routines, in our relationships, in our money matters. And of course, Mars, being the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, even our anger, is also in this Taurus energy, looking to unearth what within ourselves is blocking us. Likely our confidence, our self-esteem, our worth and value within ourselves. But even more than that, when we're recognizing these little blips, we're able to actually roll up our sleeves as the god of war yields his sword and cuts through this bull crap that's keeping us and preventing us from actually moving forward. Mars is not afraid to go ahead and be aggressive in life, to go after what it is that he wants. And this particular energy illuminating for us, maybe the extremes, maybe the imbalances, is putting us in a direct position to make up for that, to stabilize, to pursue, to get a plan, to actually make a move in the right direction. The moon is going to oppose, sit across from, conflict with Chiron, the wounded healer, who is retrograde. So Libran energy sits across from Aries energy. Aries energy is about me, the individual. What do I want? What do I need? What do I desire? While the Libran energy is about us. What do we want? What do we need? What do we desire? The Libran energy does have a tendency to be a little bit people-pleasing, sacrificing our own wants, needs, and desires to put other people first. And this Aries energy has a tendency to be a little bit egocentric, not really considering the wants, needs, and desires, or even the emotions, or even the consideration of other people if we're not careful. Now, the moon opposing Chiron is going to put us at odds with our wounds. Why? Because Chiron is the wounded healer. Why do we have to sit in the funk of our wounds? In order to feel them so that we can heal them. This is going to feel a little bit extreme because, of course, the moon in Libra wants to find peace and harmony and balance in our emotional selves. But of course, we only find that sweet little spot in the middle by sitting in the funk of the extremes of what it is that is really bothering us, really triggering us the most. This Chiron energy being retrograde wants us to heal certain aspects, giving us a timeout, taking a good look at our mental health, at where it is that we're reinventing ourselves, rebranding ourselves. And at this particular time, we are definitely seeing where it is that we have to achieve a little bit more balance in our emotional field by addressing some of the egoic identity wounds that we are currently coming into realization about. The moon is going to bump into the true node, into Uranus, into Mars, because again, true node, Uranus, Mars is the spotlight for this week. They are all in Taurus energy, creating this one-in-a-lifetime event of, I'm going to say, destined meetings and opportunities and sudden shift in our lives in order to position us on the right path of our soul's purpose, our soul's mission, our soul's fullest potential. And the way that the moon is interacting with these three very superstars at this time is providing us an opportunity. Now, what is the opportunity? Well, first of all, the moon bumping into the true node in this way is giving us an opportunity to see the step forward that we have to take in the physical realm in order to establish that, yep, this is the path that I want to walk. Yep, this is the next stage, the next move that's going to get me closer to where it is that I want to be. The moon then bumps into Uranus, giving us a little bit of a element where we're willing to take a risk, to bust out of the norm, to bust out of our comfort zones. Yes, the moon in Libra wants to stay balanced, but at this point, if we stay balanced, we're going to be stuck in this little comfort zone that many of us have kind of retreated to think that we are in a safe place and protected, but now realizing that it's more of a prison, keeping us back from actually going after new paths, new passions, new desires. And so the moon bumping into Uranus is definitely going to shake us up. Now, this could come out of a disruption in our plans. It could come with a new opportunity of kind of choosing the different path instead of our norm in the run of the day. But then when the moon actually bumps into Mars, also in this energy, Mars is going to push us to be motivated and inspired enough to actually make the move. We're not sitting around thinking about it. We're not sitting around in our thoughts and our feelings trying to talk ourselves out of what it is that we know that we need to do if we want change in our life. And so Mars is here to say, you know what? Use your insecurities, use your anxiety, use your anger, if you will, to light the fire in your heart and underneath your ass in order to actually make a move, to take action, to align with the changes that you know that you need to make. The moon then goes ahead and squares Venus. Now, Venus rules over this Libran energy that we're currently in with the moon, which means that this is a big conflict. A square is a conflict anyways, but going head to head with the ruler of the energy means that we are definitely going to feel uncomfortable. This is going to create some restlessness for us because we're very divided between what it is that we want, need, and desire. That Libran energy, again, division between extreme choices, paths, decisions. We have to sit in the funk in order to find the middle common ground. But there is a little bit of an inner war going on between what it is that we actually want and need for ourselves. This could definitely highlight where it is that our want, need, and desire to stay where we're at because it's comfortable and familiar is really putting ourselves at odds because we want something different. We want to be happy. We want to be connected. We want to take a little bit of a risk. We're tired of the norm, but we don't know what that means. So this is kind of challenging. And then Uranus goes ahead and makes the direct aspect with the true node that we've been talking about, that we've been building to for approximately the last 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks, we've been in orb of this direct hit. And the closer that we got to this direct hit, the more intensity that we are feeling through our central nervous system, through the wants, needs, and desires to take a risk, to bust out of the norm, to bust out of our comfort zone, to take a risk and put ourselves out there in a way that we've been afraid to. What we know to be true is that this is opening us up, our minds, our heart space, our physical realm to the possibilities that would actually work out well for us if we were just able to let go of the attachments that we've created to this little comfy zone that is again starting to appear like the blocks, the restrictions, the prison, keeping us from truly moving forward. The moon then goes ahead and trines Saturn, and this is going to help kind of balance us out a little bit. Saturn, of course, the lord of karma, ruling over foundations and structures and rules and responsibilities. He likes to bring us back down to earth just a tad. Now, Saturn is retrograde in Aquarian energy. That's why we get this trine, because the moon is in Libra in air energy and Saturn is in Aquarius in air energy. What this kind of helps us to do is to come back down to earth after all this electrical zaps and all these open-mindedness kind of aspects throughout the day, trying to shift us into a different perspective and understanding. What we need to do now is realize where it is that we have to boss up and be a little bit more disciplined in our lives. If we're going to build anything new, where it comes to our routine, our physical circumstances, we have to have discipline. We have to have common sense. We have to have a little bit of accountability and responsibility for our own lives. We can't just sit around praying and hoping to God that we're going to wake up tomorrow and all the things that we're trying to manifest is just going to naturally happen to us. It takes a little bit of blood, sweat, and tears. It takes a lot of focus. It takes a lot of determination. And this is the point in time where we're realizing where it is that maybe we've been living in extremes on a hope, on a prayer, and where it is that maybe we have to kind of go to the other realm of extremes to actually put some action in order to have those hopes and prayers actually come to life. The moon is going to interact with the sun in a very beautiful way. This is going to illuminate for us where in the here and now we have to make a different choice. Now, what are the choices? Well, first of all, the moon is overly attached to the past, what it is that we've created, very nostalgic, okay? Very hard time letting go. While the sun wants us to abandon everything in order to pour our time, energy into embodying the qualities and characteristics that's going to get us to our desired reality. The moon in Libra wants us to hold on to where it is that we feel comfortable, where it is that we are kind of I'm going to say finding stable ground in our emotions, in our physical realities, while the sun over here in Leo wants nothing more than to abandon the old in order to embody the new. We are being cracked open, blossoming in the most beautiful way. But all of these over attachments that we're coming into realization that we actually have to the past, to people, to labels, to circumstances, whatever the case may be, is really blocking our amount of growth, improvement, and progression that we're actually able to make under this Leo season energy. The moon is going to wrap up the day by bumping into Neptune. Neptune is retrograde in his place of power in Pisces energy. A lot of feels. Let's just put that out there. But what this particular energy is doing is it's putting us in a choice point. Are we going to allow our logical, practical self to lead, which is very ego-based, or are we going to dive into our higher spiritual realm and allow our dreams and imagination to soar to the point that puts us in a vibration and frequency to help us bust out of our current circumstances? Now, here's the thing. Intuition is going to be hard to access. It's going to be hard to balance logic and practicality with our intuition, our actual higher self gut feeling and insight. We would like to blend these energies together here, but something tells me that we're just a little bit overwhelmed with our choices, options, with our thoughts, with our emotions, that we may not see the progress that we want. We're lacking a little bit of clarity on what we should be focused on and where we should be orienting our time, energy, and focus. And this particular energy can definitely push us in a dream state, but it could also push us in a state of escapism, really not wanting to deal with life, not wanting to make the choices, not wanting to make the decisions, and of course, staying in the shallow end of life that the Libran energy would prefer us to be in, while the Neptune energy needs us to swim in the depths of the emotional ocean, if you will, if we ever stand a chance in hell of creating the kind of reality, the kind of dream that our big soul self is trying to push us into the path to actually pursue.